Oh, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the show. So, here's what we got going on. Y'all know it is the AEW Revolution pay per view day. And for some ungodly reason, probably because I don't pay a lot of attention, I thought it was last week. So, we'll kind of touch on the preview a bit. We'll talk about anything y'all want to talk about. We got to talk about just a few things real quick. Number one, shout out to XWW. As always, appreciate them. You can find me on the Extreme World Wrestling uh, social media platform. You can find me on Extreme TV Online. You can get the app on Roku. You can see me live on Roku TV. All because of that. So shout out to them. What is their price tag, like $4.99 a month or some mess. It's a great price tag for a ton of independent wrestling content from here in the southeast region. So we're going to start with that. We're going to talk AEW. We're going to talk WWE. I really want to find out what is going on as far as where you guys feel the disconnect is with the current Bray Wyatt storyline. Because if you haven't noticed, that right there is starting to get some people upset. Aha, right. So not everybody's feeling the new Bray Wyatt line and the way it's going. My thing is this: I don't have a problem with what they're doing. I just feel like it's not enough. Do we want to see him in more matches and less of the story? Is that where everybody else is? I'm kind of in the middle. I think they could balance it just a little bit more towards the wrestling matches and less of the theatrics. But alas, I'm one person out of the millions that watch that product weekly. And if they don't watch the entire product weekly, they still go online. They go to YouTube. They go to Facebook. They go to Twitter, Twitch, whatever, and watch the recaps, the highlights, and sometimes they'll watch the same YouTube video three, five, six times. Bray Wyatt's YouTube clips are some of the most watched YouTube clips on the planet. So obviously, there's a lot of interest in it. Now, is it a lot of good interest or is it a lot of bad interest? See, that's where you got to start to. That's where you really got to, you know, take that line. You got to figure out which line you want to toe. So either way, when it comes to me, I enjoy the theatrical parts of it. I do wish that there was a little bit more wrestling out of Bray. The last match we got was just weird. Him and LA Knight in the Mountain Dew Pitch Black matchup that happened. I just feel like it wasn't enough wrestling. It was just a weird match. It wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. It was just weird. And that I think that right there is what curbed a lot of people on it. They were like, "Oh, it's just too weird. I didn't understand it." Well, I mean, I got the point. He's supposed to look like a psycho. He's supposed to look off and unhinged and, not normal. So, with that being said, it all turns into where do you place it, right? Do you place it on the too much spectrum or do you put it, place it on the not enough spectrum? So, at any rate, whew, we can start it off with Monday Night Raw because Monday Night Raw this week, fantastic. We got to see everybody getting lined up for what we know is coming. We know we're getting ready to deal with the WrestleMania pay per view. We know that there are a couple of changes being made. Uh, I found it hilarious with the White Lightning remark. I'm going to go ahead and touch on the Brock Lesnar segment real quick because I think that was just hilarious. Because that was Brock Lesnar and MVP, right? And they were in there talking their game. So I'm gonna tell y'all flat out, as a person who has been to the mountains of West Virginia and can understand a little bit of that hillbilly shit. I'm telling you what I know. White Lightning's no joke. Funny story about White Lightning. There was a mason jar in Southern Maryland that had White Lightning, but inside of it were cherries. They were just soaking in there, and they had been there for a number of years. Um, so when I pulled the mason jar out of the freezer, I looked at the guy who owned the house and said, "Hey, my brother, can I have one of these?" He said, "Do you know what that is?" And I'm sitting there. I entirely know what this is, and I still want one. So there's a couple other buddies there. Oh, if he's going to do one, we got to do one too. Well, let me tell you this. Both of them boys ended up chugging beer, trying to get the feeling back in their mouth and get the taste out of their mouth. One of them sitting there going, "My lip, numb," because he couldn't feel his lips and shit. Because, like an idiot, he bit it in half right at the tip of his mouth, so his lips went numb because of the lightning. It was great. I couldn't do nothing but laugh at him. Me and old boy are sitting back, just we ate cherries, drank beer, whatever. Talked our talk. This has probably been 10, 12 years ago. It's been a long time, but either way, the white lightning thing, MVP's reaction, spitting it out probably would have hurt him worse. Just my opinion. And then that shit landing in Brock Lesnar's face, especially if it had gotten his eyes, it'd have burned the hell out of him. So funny spot. I thought it was comical the way they put it up. Man, Monday Night Raw was a fine, solid 3 hour show. So many people are still butthurt about it being 3 hours. Like, no, we more or less need you people to just take what you get and enjoy it. If you don't enjoy the whole show, that's understandable, right? It's a 3 hour show. There's going to be parts of that you don't like. There's going to be parts of any 3 hour movie you don't like. Whether you're talking the Avengers or you're talking Titanic, you're going to find parts of it you didn't care for. No movie is perfect, essentially, right? It goes with anything. There's still the parts you do enjoy. With the size of roster they have, the amount of championships that they have, and the amount of content that they need to produce, that 3 hour show is fine. You're talking about 7 hours a week just on WWE TV. That's their live or recorded in ring product for the week. 7 hours. You got 3 for NXT or 3 for Raw, 2 for NXT, and 2 more for Friday Night SmackDown. So you're talking 7 at minimum a week. Now, if they do a pay per view, you're talking anywhere from 10 to 12. And if it's Mania, it's even more. It's ridiculous, right? Now, Mania weekend, I've already pretty much decided I'm going to do both days live stream or live podcast each day. We're going to preview one night. The next day, we will review night one and preview night two. And that's how it's going to roll. I know that XWW is hosting a party at a bar in Charlotte during Mania. So check out XWW social media and they'll let you know. So if you're in the Charlotte area and you want to go hang out and do something with them, you're more than welcome to do so. I likely will not be there. Way too much going on. So plus I don't really want to drive home from Charlotte that late at night to have to go to work the next day. Just doesn't sound like a very appealing time to me. Now, unless we come up with an idea to do like a podcast live from the bar with the competition going on, that might be fun. Who knows? That may be cool. We'll have to see how that pans out, but we will definitely get with XWW management about that. Maybe be able to pull something off. And if I seem a little, drawn and quartered today, worked a hell of a show yesterday. You'll be able to catch it on YouTube more than likely. Keep your eye on my social media. We'll get you the links out for that one. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait to actually hear how commentary sounded. Generally, I don't know how it turned out because I've never done commentary like that before. So we'll just see how it went. Let's see here. We were checking this out. It was the 27th for Monday Night Raw. It came out on the 27th, so this is Monday. The big story of the night ended up being that Becky Lynch and Lita win the women's titles from Damage Control, or women's tag titles from Damage Control. Odd, just an odd decision. I don't understand why they're doing this now instead of at Mania. I I'm trying to have something that makes sense. Make it make sense, right? Does it add to the intrigue of what the hell are they going to do if they did that now? Yeah, it does that. It does do that. It adds to that side of things. But it's one of those things, man. And if anybody out there watching has anything they want to say, add, do whatever, you can send me a DM on Facebook. I'll bring you online. I don't care. We can open the gates today. Anybody wanting to come on air, just send it. I'll bring you on. It doesn't matter today. So we started off with having Jimmy Uso out with Solo. They're trying to spin everything into positive for the bloodline. Street Profits are up. They end up going against each other. I mean, you know what's going to happen. You know how it's going to go down. We know it's going to end up being Sammy and KO, even though they're both are saying no. It's like they're going to try to just slowly bait into that. That's the only thing I can think of. Solo Sikoa ended up hitting Dawkins with the Samoan Spike, and that was the end of that one. Next up was the Lesnar and MVP VIP Lounge, and we already talked about that. I thought that was cool. Still can't believe they had MVP taking F5s on this. I get he's not hurt, and they're just using the cane and all that as, filler. Still, having MVP getting that without any retaliation or rebuttal from Omos is just weird. I still don't understand the draw for this either. I don't have much of an interest in this matchup when it comes to the pay-per-view as of now. That can change. And I'll tell you why. Lesnar's exciting. Brock Lesnar's a draw. Contrary to popular belief, I'm going to name off a handful of superstars that right now, God forbid, Roman Reigns slipped and fell off his airplane and broke his leg today, and they had to put somebody in the main event of Mania. Brock Lesnar can go in the main event. Seth Rollins can go in the main event. Kevin Owens can go in the main event. Sami Zayn can go in the main event. Cody Rhodes can go in the main event. I can keep going because Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, Bray Wyatt, any of those guys are enough of a superstar to be put in that level, are well enough of that caliber. On the microphone, in the ring, it doesn't matter. Lashley, not so much on the mic, but, he has MVP. Montez Ford, you can put Montez Ford in the main event. Nobody would really second guess that. At least not now. Nobody would second guess that. Baron Corbin? No. Elias? No. They're right where they need to be. But you do have plenty of young, hungry talent, or even, some of the older guys. You could put Rey Mysterio in the main event. It's not going to be a problem. Realistically, as over as he was before he got suspended for drug violation, Riddle would have qualified for that. Didn't Riddle go after Reigns and go after the title? That's another guy who could be in the main event. The sheer idea to have a roster that size and not have people you could put in the main event is baffling to me. That comes from not necessarily an issue with the talent. That comes with an issue with the company. It's not about the talent because the talent's obviously there. I'm not going to say everybody in WWE is a talented performer. They're not. Otis is fine. He's not really, all that great. Dawkins is fantastic. Ford is fantastic. Gargano is fantastic. Braun Breaker's all right. I mean, give him some time. I see he could maybe do something. Grayson Waller is a phenomenal athlete, not a bad wrestler. There's a handful of great wrestlers, especially down in NXT. There's some really terrible ones too, like Von Wagner, who has no business whatsoever being on television, in my opinion. Oh, by the way, it's a podcast. Everything's a fucking opinion, right? Cody Rhodes and Chad Gable. Look, we all know that Chad Gable can go. We all knew that already. However, for all intents and purposes, to put Chad Gable in a match where Chad Gable looked like he had the opportunity to beat the number one contender for the WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania is nothing short of impressive. They are actually trying to build it to where anybody can make sense. That's a good idea. Having your champion look as though they can't be beaten is still a great idea because you don't know when it's going to happen. We all think it's going to happen at Mania. Everybody around the world, the odds have got to be ridiculous. Could you imagine the shock, the scowl on people's faces if all of a sudden Roman Reigns retained at Mania and lost it on Monday Night Raw right after? Maybe. Maybe he goes 1,000 days just to make sure nobody's going to want to touch that record for a while. I wouldn't be against that. But if you do that, who are you going to have him go against? You're not going to bring Goldberg back out of retirement for this. You're not going to bring Austin in. You're not going to bring anybody in. There's a lot they could do, but there's a lot they won't do. So let's just be honest with ourselves here, guys. You got to make it make sense. Asuka defeated Carmella. Ray Charles could have seen that coming, and he's dead and blind. There are certain things that are just illogical here. This one, I think, kind of pushes that boundary. No, you don't want to bury somebody that's on the up and up, but you don't want to give your number one contender a simple squash match, which, in my book, that's what that was. That's what we saw. It's what we got. Candice LeRae defeating Piper Niven. I was confused. I was so confused. I was like, how in the hell are they going to have this work? It was just a crazy happenstance. The Miz is going to be the host of WrestleMania. Why? He's going to be wrestling Logan Paul. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable that they're going to have. Seth Rollins and Logan Paul is at least going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. So I'm at least happy we're getting something different here, right? Everybody want to be surprised. Would I be mad if Seth lost? No, not really. It's not going to change my day either way. But when you're looking at it, you're going to need to have a solid reason for Logan to go. He's going to have to steal the show and take the L all at once. That's the only thing that logically makes sense. Bobby Lashley defeating Elias. You got Lashley, and then you had the Firefly Funhouse shtick again. It's like, dude, this whole shit's crazy. Whole thing's crazy. Johnny Gargano defeated Otis, even with the maximum male models, which I still hate that faction. I don't like it. It's not remotely entertaining. It doesn't fit for me. It really doesn't. The people that just sat there listening to this on audio and not watching it just didn't get to hear me shaking my head for that brief window of time. And then, as I mentioned before, you had Becky Lynch and Lita defeating Damage Control to win the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Sorry. Solid night. Plenty to go on, plenty to look at, plenty to deal with. You got to be able to take it apart and put it back together. What the hell was that? Yeah, I just happened to notice. I done lost my phone somewhere in this office. Oh well. I heard it go off. That's why I had to do something. There we go. Anyway, so look, that was Raw. NXT itself, look, they're building towards their what is it, stand and deliver show. The best thing on it in my book was the main event. Carmelo Hayes versus Tyler Bate was a fantastic matchup. If you didn't get to see it, go back and watch NXT. Worth watching 100%. Oh, we got some comments. Let's see what's up here. That's better. Hey, man, what's going on? I know you're getting ready to go live, buddy. You know what? Do you want to just do it together? Like, do you want to come on mine and I come on? Like, we send each other our invites and then just mute the second tab. And I think it'll work. If you want to try it, we can try it. I don't care. I got balls to do anything. It doesn't matter to me. I would be all kinds of down with doing that. Let's do it, Lance. And then we got Mr. Brandon Lamb. Make that make sense giving Lita and Becky the tag title. I said that already. I don't agree with them giving it to them already. I think they should have saved that for Mania, unless they're going to do something really psychotic at Mania. Like, they could do something where they have a multi-team matchup for the women's tag titles, because then it would be like, well, damn, it's anybody's game. Or they can make like an elimination thing. They can make a gauntlet match. Who knows what they're going to do? It's Mania season. We never know what's going to happen with Mania season. Elliot Popston from the Lowdown Popcast has chimed in. What's up, buddy? He said, yo. Well, yo, to yourself as well, man. You know what it is? It's AEW pay-per-view day. Hey, matter of fact, Elliot, I will invite you as well if you want to come on, because you can probably help me with the AEW stuff because you know me. Brandon Lamb, I don't want Ronda and Baszler to get it, though. I'm okay with them. I don't care if it's Ronda and Baszler. Who cares? I don't care who gets it. It doesn't matter. And well, WWE doesn't like heel versus heel. Okay, well, I mean, that's the basic storytelling of professional wrestling is good guy versus bad guy. Oh, you wouldn't know that. You watch AEW so much. I'm sorry. See how easy it is to flip that into a jab back at the other company. You take a jab at one, it can be thrown right back at the other. It's not that hard. So I don't want to go with the back and forth. Ha! See? Ha! I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. It's sad when even the people that are supposed to be doing press and media for them are saying the same thing that the fans are saying. There's storylines, but the connection isn't there. It's not deep. It's not rooting hooks into the people to get them to watch it. Independence. Bro, independents don't need to make as much sense as a weekly episodic television show. Independents, for the most part, are not running weekly. I would not want to run weekly if I was an independent promoter. Bi-weekly at worst. every other week. That's it. Yeah, face versus face, you can do. No, 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 no. I highly disagree with this. Face versus face can work way better than heel versus heel on the independent scene. That's what I'm getting at. Mr. Royce chimed in. He said, "Mr. Consigliere, how you doing, bud? Hope you are having safe travels back, home. So, congratulations on your newly acquired heavyweight championship. Uh, oh, and good luck on your interview later this week. Oh no, wait. That's not later this week. Later this month. Sorry. If you're independent isn't making sense, you're doing it wrong. Oh, I agree. I agree with that. What I'm saying is face versus face are, and I'll even use two guys that you like that are faces for the most part. Okay, we'll say JD Drake, James Drake of the Workhorsemen, also on AEW. He's been around our independent scene forever, and we've worked with him multiple times in the last 2 years. So let's say Drake, James Johnson, two guys, old school guys, wrestlers. They go out and have a just phenomenal match with each other and shake hands at the end. They shook hands at the beginning of the match or whatever. Good sportsmanship. There's nothing wrong with that. You can tell a great story with that. So that's why I don't agree with face versus face. I would agree more so with the heel versus heel remark because it's just sometimes it's like, where's the point? Like, who are you going to want to cheer for in a heel versus heel match? Unless you have a cool set of heels and a not cool set of heels. Like, hear me out. When the Dudley boys were heels, when the acolytes were heels, it's something along those lines. Or Edge and Christian were heels and the Dudley boys were heels. You still had to pick. You had somebody you liked more in those cases because they're more established. Or you had the cool heels, like the NWO was the cool heels, and you didn't care. You just loved to see them beat the shit out of people. That's what I'm getting at. Anti-hero versus full babyface or heel. Yeah, and see, anti-hero is a whole nother classification. Agreed with this. Anti-hero, Moxley's an anti-hero. Same with CM Punk. That's the God's honest truth. MJF could even be claimed as the anti-hero level as well. Yeah, CM Punk's a perfect example. Play into the crowd. You're hitting all my notes. Hitting all my notes here. I'm saying I've seen heel versus heel and face to face on Indies and AEW. Okay, so have I. It doesn't matter where you've seen it. Ray Cole chimed in to say Cole is king. That is his every podcast post. Don't worry, we're gonna get him tied in with the lowdown podcast so he can go over there and do it with them too. You might as well check out the Swanton Pod and the Wrestling Wing, which I don't know what that is or where it's coming from, but I know the Wrestling Wing is something. You may as well just jump on everybody's podcast and say Adam Cole is king. But on certain people, you got to be ready to hear him say "bay bay." Um, ooh, Elliot, you're typing a lot. Wouldn't you rather just come talk to me? Would you rather just come talk to me? I mean, really, it would make things so much easier. We can have it. We can have it. Yeah, see, Adam Cole, baby. Look, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Now you're waiting on. Oh, you didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that. I don't want to hear that. Oh, no, 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 no. You're not doing this. You never said, yeah, I'll come on, or yeah, I'll come argue with you, or anything like that. Good Lord, I got to find in this list. It has been a busy busy several days, and it's only going to get worse. I mean, better. I figured it out. That's why I like doing this so much. It's why I like doing this so much. The more I have to do, the more I focus on everything else. So the world around me can burn to the ground, but I'm focused on things that are succeeding. That's how you go. That's how you do it. Okay, that's how you do it. Elliot, I sent you the link. And we're not going to go back and forth with comparing the Indies and AEW and WWE. I could care less about that. What we're likely going to talk about when you get in here is going to be how to get hype for this AEW show that's coming up in just a few hours. You know, I've got about an hour left of this show before I have to go run some errands before that show starts. Oh man. But NXT, like I've been saying, was fantastic. That main event was great. Indus Sher defeating Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen was a great piece of tag team wrestling. Indus Sher, I think, could be on the main roster. I really do. They got the size, they got the strength. Them guys versus, I don't care, pick a high end tag team, large size tag team. Let's go with the Viking Raiders. Let's go with the Street Profits. You know, put them up against guys like that. I'm in. I think that would be fantastic. I forgot to mention that Wesley defeated Nathan Frazier. Dude, that was a solid matchup, too. Good. Prime example, babyface versus babyface. Nobody was the heel. And there was respect shown at the end. Fantastic. What is up, my friend? How are you?
Is this thing working?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. So,
Can you hear me? Oh, I don't know. Hey, man, look. We were just talking about face versus face and heel versus heel. And do you know what the opening match of NXT was?
I have no idea.
Wes Lee and Nathan Frazier. Babyface versus babyface. And it worked. They did the exact same thing I said, you know, with the sportsman shit and all that. It was good. Good stuff.
No, I mean, when you see that, I'm just talking about heel versus heel. You rarely see heel versus heel at all with WWE. Not even anti-hero. And maybe it's maybe Ron was the closest thing they've had to an anti-hero. All depends on your taste for him. He's over for a lot of different crowds, but at the same time, I don't know that I'd consider him an anti-hero. I feel like I'd still consider him more of a heel, but
yeah, I would go more of a heel, but he's a very popular heel. He's like NWO level heel.
yeah, yeah.
I would even go as far to say as the Bloodline probably has the most heat as a faction since the NWO.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Absolutely.
As far as it goes, yeah.
I mean,
that's
the bloodline. The bloodline has been. I mean, let's look at it this way. WWE this past year, well, and Bloodline even longer, has had the top two storylines in wrestling. I mean, there's no disputing that. You've had Cody making his return to WWE, and you've had any and everything involved with the Bloodline, whether it's Sammy or not. I mean, that's been the top two storylines in all of wrestling. You know, I mean, you'll get no argument from me there. I still enjoy AEW's product more, but I absolutely give WWE their kudos. I mean, they've had the top two storylines. Like, for instance, everybody was anticipating excited for Bray, right?
Yes.
What have they done with that?
I was talking about that at the earlier points of the show. I think what has occurred is people want more wrestling and less of the theatrics. They need to balance it a little bit more when it comes to
they just want more. Period. I mean,
really,
Uncle Howdy appearing here and there. I mean, it's been I mean, what was it? You find out he wrestles at a house show, and it's like, all right, cool. And then it's like 6 weeks later, oh, I'm going to wrestle you at Royal Rumble in a blackout match. Okay,
Right.
I mean, but then, since then what has he done? Nothing. Uncle Howdy's been showing up. He shows up once, to say, hey, I'm going to fight whoever wins between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. But like since then,
Well,
other
that
than
was
showing up on
before
the
the
screen,
Rumble. That was
right,
before the Rumble. Oh, no, that was after the Rumble. You're right. That was after the Rumble because that match happened at Elimination Chamber, did it not?
right.
Right. So, yeah, my bad.
But it's just like, man, come on, dude. I mean, I get it, you're creative, but dude, get in the ring, do something.
More of everything would be good, but
And
I think the crowd is getting to the point where they want to see more action out of him than they do just the promos, the videos, and the other sideways stuff.
they drug out the White Rabbit stuff so long and so much that it's lost its shine and its luster. I think because they haven't capitalized on it.
Do you still think that they're going to go a direction with the Wyatt Six?
I don't think anybody. If they do, I have zero interest now, and I think the majority of fans feel that way because they've taken so long to figure stuff out.
I don't know if I'm going to say the majority of fans have dropped it or dropped caring about it. I'm just going to say I think the fans now want to see more wrestling and less theatrics out of it.
Sorry, I thought I heard my daughter.
You're good.
Here's an example. Uncle Howdy was first showing up. People was like, "Holy crap, who's this dude?" Right, and maybe this changed at the Rumble with that horrible spot where he's 6 feet away from LA Knight, and all the camera angles catch it, exploding, whatever. Where he, you know what I'm talking about? At the end of the match, LA Knight's
When he
laying on
jumped off that stage platform thing?
Yeah.
I didn't. What camera angle caught what? Where he missed him?
Yeah, I mean, I get it, right? But he was like 6 feet away and missed them. They had big explosion. Explosion's nice, but my thing is, in that, I feel like they could have executed that whole thing better had they not even had that spot. Because you have to know where you're at. You have to know your audience. You have to know your location. And if you're in a big old arena, people's phones are out. Dude, come on. Give your
Okay, the leaked camera angles show it. The televised camera angles did not show it.
Oh, absolutely it did. Absolutely, you could tell that he missed them big time. That's the first thing that me, Shane, Jonathan, and Billy Fox all sitting there watching it. We were like, holy crap, what? Dude, he missed them big time. And I think what happened, I think Bray's position job was to line up, and Uncle Howdy was supposed to line up above him. And Bray lined up several feet to the side of LA.
Oh,
so
okay.
when he fell, he was clearly missing him. And that could have been for safety reasons. I get it. But at the same time, but my point is, hey, if you know that you're in this huge arena, there's all sorts of stuff that can happen with leak footage, and maybe you don't care, that's fine. But if we're trying to make something look as real, which I feel like they try to do, then either A, don't have them jump out so far, and it could have just been a missed spot. Very well could have been. Or just don't do that at all.
Right.
The whole pitch black match concept, dude, I was loving it.
Yeah,
His
the neon glow, the face paint,
God,
the whole nine.
dude,
Like, dude, yeah,
it was
this is wicked.
so awesome, and I'm so glad because I was thinking it was going to be one of those pre-produced ones like he'd done with the
Uh, oh, the
Firefly Funhouse
theatrical
stuff.
match.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I was just thinking, man, please don't let it be one of those again. So I love the match. It was the post match stuff I was not a fan of. Say
right.
that.
Now, with that being said, with Wyatt, I just feel that if they would have him be, you remember in the beginning when he first came out and he was always in that depressed mindset, the way he spoke. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about? Like that
wrestling is entertainment.
presentation. Yes, I
Yeah,
stick to that. Stay away from everything else.
just to really, I mean, that's because you had him. You didn't have him
Stay
trying to put on any persona. It was strictly Bray Wyatt.
stay away from
It
the Firefly Funhouse.
it was Wyndham Rotunda speaking in the ring.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, so somebody gave me a hell of a compliment yesterday. I gotta tell you this one thing. I got in after the show. I got in the ring with my kid, and she wanted to see how the ring felt. It's like cool. So I was like, here, run the ropes. She goes, how do you do that? So I started running the ropes. I'm wearing a bow tie and suspenders. Somebody out in the sitting out there says, man, I ain't seen nobody do that since IRS, and it made that what you just said made me think of that. It's like, damn it, that was cool.
What was his middle name?
Erwin
Or
R.
no,
Shyster.
R. Shyster. That's right, Erwin R. Shyster.
Yeah. Kind of a weird name for on the last name there, Shyster.
Oh, come on. That was we know what that
What are you
was.
doing? What are you doing? I don't want to.
Man, my like stuff keeps coming out of my printer, bro. Like it's just sitting here and like paper keeps spitting paper out of
Unplug
that thing.
it.
There's nobody.
Just unplug it.
I got to use it here in a little bit, so I ain't gonna unplug it.
You can plug it back in when we're done. I mean, Jesus, it's not that hard.
It'll be all right. I
But
can just turn it off.
oh, there you go. Well,
Power button.
see, that logical. Partnerships, man. Partnerships, relationships, all the ships are psychological. You got one side psycho and the other side's logical. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Um, right. All right, then. Yeah, don't say anything. Don't say
I'm not
arguing. I don't
arguing.
want you to get in trouble. Don't I
I'm
want
not
you to get in
arguing there.
trouble. You don't need heat. You don't need to smoke.
I get psycho sometimes. It happens, and I ain't mad about it.
I think the bad part is I'm both psycho and logical, so it's just
Oh, it's the same.
nonstop. Yeah.
Same and all depends on the time of night and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like I say, NXT as of late's been pretty decent to watch. Miko Satomura and Zoe Stark had a fantastic matchup. Soul Rucka and Electra Lopez, dude. Soul has got that awesome finisher. She is a talented lady. I really do enjoy watching her. I don't know if you've caught much of her, but man, if you haven't been seeing it, you need to see it.
I need it. So the thing I run into is I tend to not watch NXT on Tuesday nights because normally at 8 I'm over
Yeah.
there trying to get prepped and ready for a kickoff at 9. So
Yeah, for the Lowdown Popcast, you can say it
yeah.
here. I'm not. We're not.
Oh, no. I mean, I wasn't not saying it to not plug. I was just saying that's normal. I was just having conversation.
Yeah. And see now this Tuesday, I moved this to. We were going to do the roundtable thing this Tuesday. I moved it to next Tuesday. They're doing the funeral for Matt. Yeah, the visitation thing's Tuesday night. So I was just like, it is in poor taste to do this on this night. I'm not doing it. So I was just like, we're immediately postponing this. Everybody can start talking about it, but we're not doing it this week. The one thing I didn't care for, Tiffany Stratton and Katrina Chance. Katrina Chance is a phenomenal wrestler. I like the acrobatic style she has. Tiffany Stratton is Trish Stratus, Lana, that, the hot blonde bombshell. Yet, in my book, I just don't feel like she's ready. But that's me. But who am I to make that decision when, they put Von Wagner on TV? That guy is the absolute drizzlings. Dude, all right. I'm not going to say give me anybody on the independents and I'll show you a better wrestler. But I'm going to say give me a lot of people on the independents and I will show you a far better wrestler.
He's got a decent look, but man, he's just,
dude. Except for his forehead, I don't understand the 45-degree angle.
I mean, it's maybe he skipped Botox today. I don't know.
Well, no, that'd be more Botox injections right in his eyebrows. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they didn't balance the needles.
Maybe he had that syndrome for alcoholic babies. I don't know.
That's possible. Or, he is quite tall and they built the set for smaller people because Adam Cole was there forever and he's wandering and bumping. Yeah, it's constantly hitting his head on stuff. Maybe that's it.
Oh. What is he? Is he he's not flexible enough to bend over and get through the door? Just does like that.
I have no idea. But Carmelo Hayes and Tyler Bate was fantastic. Anybody who missed that match, you're not doing yourself justice. You need to go back and watch it. That was really solid.
Von Wagner is like a cross between a Wish version of Edge and the former Test. And look,
I would have just said he is an unathletically built Big Cass. He's a non-athletic Big Cass.
Big Bill.
But Big Cass, oh God, yeah, Big Bill W. Morrissey, Big Bill. And I give Big Bill credit for being way better on the mic. Big Bill can talk in comparison.
I wish he taught more.
I do too. Because he sounds violent and visceral. I like that. So
I loved him in Impact, man.
Yep.
That's W. Morrissey. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why he changed it. Like, it was him that changed his name. Like, they were just calling him W. Morrissey. And like he just decided to change his name to Big Bill.
I mean,
why. I think that's one of his legit nicknames in real life. So
I'm fairly confident it is.
Friends call me Big Bill. I mean, all right, that's cool.
Yeah, but the people you're fighting against aren't your friends, Dick. Just don't do this.
No, I mean, yeah. I even liked it when he was Kaz XL.
Other than when he was first released from WWE. When he was first released, there was that 3, 6, 9 month period where he was being really crappy to people. And drugs and alcohol had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, he was also in the worst shape of his life then too.
Yeah, and he almost died.
Yep.
But that was because of the drugs and alcohol. Let's call a spade here, guys. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, he was just in poor health. No, the dude was doing things you're not supposed to do and ended up in even worse shape.
Yep.
But
dude, to be as big as he is and to be as jacked and cut as he is, they're just ridiculous.
Do you think he's on the juice?
Here's the thing, man. I don't know that he is, man, because he's lean.
Right. He was lean anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he was like when he was in WWE, he was kind of thick, right? I mean, he was
Well,
cut, but he was kind of thick.
yeah,
Like the leanness he's got. I mean, I'm sure he's taking some type of supplements to help shred extra weight. But I mean, there's also all sorts of. I think he like completely changed up his diet and everything too, though. Like
yeah.
he's
Well,
completely changed up his entire lifestyle.
he did. He got tied in with DDP. Isn't he engaged to DDP's daughter or something?
Maybe I'm not sure.
I think he is. I'm almost positive on that. And like when I first heard he was going to DDPUI, I'm like, that's cool. You know, that's a good spot for him. Get clean, get your health right, get your fitness right. DDP's awesome for that because he's transformed
Yeah.
everybody.
Yep.
You know, so big credit to DDP for that. I'm still a huge DDP fan. Did you hear the latest? I got to ask if you heard this. Did you know that they're going to do a special screening of Ready to Rumble in Atlanta with DDP and autograph signings and Q&A after the show?
Where?
In Atlanta, it's one of these theaters, bro. If I find it again, it's one of the theaters
awesome.
there, huh?
Well, I said that's awesome.
Right.
I mean, DDP lives in the Florida, Georgia area, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'm in Dallas Page. Yep. All right. March 25th at the world famous Plaza Atlanta. You get to see your tickets. It'll sell out, or you get tickets now. It's gonna sell out. Q&A and signing to follow the movie as well. I will actually send you that directly because I don't know when it is. I know the tickets say, well, it says the 25th. I know that much, but like there wasn't a whole lot of information on it. So that's why I was a little bothered by it. Here, like I said, I'm going to send it straight to you. That way you got it. There you go. So now you have it for later. Dude, I think that would be a blast to go do. Because there is a line in there that still gets used by me and my neighbor to this day. I kind of always liked the smell. It reminded me of French toast. French toast dipped in shit. I loved it. Like we still say French toast dipped in shit today.
So I regularly say a line from Dodgeball. And it's Patches O'Houlihan. When they say, "Is this really necessary?" He's like, "Necessary? Is it necessary that I drink my own urine? No, but it's sterile, and I like the taste."
Yeah. There's a lot of good lines from that movie, but anyway,
Hey, man,
you know what, dude?
I love a good one-liner from a movie, man.
Oh, I do too. I think one of my favorites for that was probably Austin Powers. Austin
Oh,
Powers was
yeah.
just gems on gems.
Yes.
All right. So you and I are gonna just run through the card for
All right.
AEW's pay-per-view. And we're gonna do it. I'm gonna say completely backwards because they started. Is there a better layout for this? I'm trying to see if there's a better layout. I pulled the card up online because you know me. I'm trying to see if they've got like just a straight legit card. That would be awesome. As opposed to
as opposed to a graphic.
yeah, well, no, as opposed to this 20-minute reading documentary that they wrote.
So I've got an image pulled up right now.
Okay.
We can start from the top and work our way down, or we can I mean, if you want me to go through like starting at 0 hour and go from there.
Sure, do that one.
So at 0 hour, we have The varsity athletes, which is Ari Davari, Josh Woods, and Tony Nese with Mark Sterling, versus Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers. So the reason you have that is, go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to say the Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers are going to win that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's predictable, right?
Yeah.
But Mark gave a promo the other night, just saying because they were having the tag team casino battle royal, and he was saying that all these tag teams are getting called out, and he's looking around looking for his brother, anticipating their music hit, and realizes, man, he's not here no more. Type of thing, and he's giving a promo talking about how he's by himself now. It's time for him to kind of chase after the singles stuff, and Mark Sterling has been trying to get Mark Briscoe to join them. Obviously, Briscoe's like, nah, bro. So Josh Woods and Mark Briscoe obviously have a history because of Ring of Honor. So they've used that there to tie in stuff. And Josh Woods and Briscoe a couple weeks ago had a face-to-face encounter in the back. Well, Lucha Brothers step up and say, they just say, "Hey, man, we got your back," type of thing.
Right.
So if you need backup, we got your back. So varsity athletes and Ari Davari, we'll see you at Revolution. That was it. It was a simple match made.
I don't like the name varsity athletes. I don't like that at all. That irritates my soul.
Do you know why they're called that?
It's a rip at the varsity blondes.
So yes. So basically, Mark Sterling, he's supposed to be a lawyer.
Okay.
So he trademarked the word varsity. So varsity blondes can no longer use it. This is whenever Tony Nese and Josh Woods were feuding with the varsity blondes months back. That ended because Griff Garrison got legit injured. So they've still been the varsity athletes and everything.
I feel them bringing Marcus into that. Marcus Cross? I feel like they're going to bring Marcus Cross up from the Indies. Do you know Marcus Cross? Because Marcus and Griff do the thing. So I feel like they're going to bring Marcus up with them.
That's a possibility. Brian Pillman Jr. has also been feuding a lot. I'm not feuding, partnering a lot with Brock Anderson. On Dark Elevation and outside of AEW. So there's also the possibility that becomes something. When Griff's young, but man, he's to be as young as he is. He is pretty good in the ring.
In my opinion, look, Brian Pillman Jr. is not a terrible wrestler, but everybody's draw to him is his daddy.
I mean, spitting image.
They are, and that's. I mean, unfortunately, I think that hinders him. Guys like Cody Hall, I think Cody Hall is fantastic. Won't get a shot because of Scott,
his dad.
I think that. Oh man, that kid looks just like Chris. Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit's son. Holy Christ, does he look just like him?
Now, did he ever pursue? Because at one point he wasn't even going to pursue wrestling, but then I heard years later that he was like, you know what, I want to start doing this.
I was waiting for him to show up on WWE main TV.
That'll never happen.
A year and a half ago. Well, they obviously would have had him with a different name.
Yeah, so I think that's where people like Chris Jericho, you know how close he was with Benoit.
Yeah.
And even with David Benoit, from my understanding, he's kept that relationship over the years.
Yes, David and Chris are close.
He would be. I think he'd be someone who would bring in David Benoit and let him keep his name. Tony, we need to keep his name. I know what happened sucked, but the dude's last name's Benoit.
I mean, here's my thing though, and I have to say this diplomatically because of things.
Sure.
I have read the police report leaks. I've read everything you can find on it. And I'm one of those people who doesn't like it. I don't feel like I don't feel like we'll ever know the whole truth of what happened there.
No, I mean,
I'm one of those people. Well, I mean, to case in point that I got in a huge fight with somebody over Casey Anthony, and I was like, I had gotten into arguments with people. I got cussed out of people. I got cussed out by people. I got thrown out of houses by people for this conversation. And I was like, fine, you didn't like it. I'm going to make sure you hear it on a whole new level because they were talking about it on the radio. So I called into the local radio station and brought up a point. And I said, here's my point. She will be found not guilty because the evidence is going to be messed up. They said, why? And I explained, because the FBI is involved. They dropped the ball. The local investigator sucked, yada, yada, yada. Here's the play. Here's how it's going to pan out. Give it 7 to 10 days. It's over. It is over in 7 to 10 days because they dropped the ball. The rest of that segment was a wash because everybody else that called in was like, I got nothing. That kid in Virginia told you this, and there's nothing we can do about it. And they just kept, we don't have anything to say. We don't have anything to say. I got nothing to add. And they were like, oh, I'm just trying to win tickets at this point. They were calling in the DC radio station. And it went on like that for 20 minutes because a group of us sat and listened to it in the work truck. And it was hilarious. I feel like that's what happened here. The reports don't add up. The timelines don't add up. Nothing adds up, so we won't know. That's just me. And now look, if I end up getting got over that, Big Elliot, I
mean, listen, you don't want to get me started on certain things that happen, and suddenly this person's had these issues, there, this, that, and the other, and it's like, wait a second, hold on, are we sure about this?
Brother,
people disappear, people die suddenly, and it's like, wait a second, when did this happen?
Oh man, yeah, and he totally committed suicide. Not that guy. Like the Epstein thing with the suicide, or the Chester Bennington thing, or the Chris, wasn't it Chris Cornell? That's what I mean by that suicide remark, guys. Yeah. That's what I mean by that. That's where we were going with that, not anybody else.
Yeah, guys, we're chasing the conspiracy theorist rabbit right now. Just so you know,
this is a conspiracy theory thing. This has nothing to do with anybody we know personally. No, nothing.
I mean, this has everything to do with conspiracy theory. Yeah, don't get me started on all that stuff.
Yeah, let's not do that. We don't have enough showtime.
We don't have enough time.
I'll piss off the Roku network if we do this. I will piss off the Roku network. I cannot do that. So, all right. So hit me with the next one.
Yeah. So it looks like and I don't know what's going to be the first match, but we got Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks. JAS is banned from ringside. I would like to think this is where Starks finally goes over. Jericho giving the young talent, the rub, trying to help him push forward in his career. We'll see.
You know what? I stopped trying to make things logical and just go with what I would want to see in my predictions. So I'm going to go with Ricky Starks.
You can leave that open. You can leave it open, bud. Yeah, I mean that's Jericho. That's one thing Jericho has done well, especially as of late, is young upcoming talent. He's been in a big if he's been in a big feud, he gives him the rub. Lets them advance. Move on. Cage is back from injury. He had a
I thought I was done with Jermaine. Like, I thought I was done with Jermaine. What are we doing here? It's like we're back again.
Yeah, so
it's like the world tour again of like Backstreet Boys. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
Why?
Apparently him and Jack Perry never finished their stuff because of Christian's injury. So Christian is back. His elbow, he did have surgery on his elbow, and it's been surgically repaired. But he's good to go.
I got
now.
Jack Perry on this. this.
Yeah, I think it's the final burial. So it's a buried alive match basically.
Is that what this is?
That's what it looks like. It's well, based on the vignette, that's what I think it is, but it might not be. It might just be a match.
I was about to say the final burial can mean a lot of things when it comes to wrestling. So
the vignette he was and they're tying in everything for the past months. Cage has been doing nothing but bringing up Luke Perry and how, Christian has been a better father to Jack in this few months he's known him than Luke ever was. I could be your dad now. He's even bringing his mom into it. Very good heel work. Makes you want to hate a guy real easily when you bring it up a guy as beloved as Luke Perry.
Right.
For those Beverly Hills 90210 fans.
Yeah, Dylan.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll say Christian Cage as a heel does his best work.
Oh, I agree. There's nothing wrong with Christian Cage, but I'm
He's
not one of those people.
He sucks in the ring.
Okay. So you hit it better than I was going to, because look, for once I was going to be the diplomatic one here in our conversation. I was going to be more diplomatic. Here's my thing with Christian. He's fantastic on the microphone. He's got great charisma. He can sell wonderfully.
He's the captain, man. Captain Charisma.
He's a pretty solid worker. But for the people that are out there, he was the way better wrestler than his tag team partner, and they won all them. Get out of here. Put the pipe down. Listen, take the pipe out your mouth, put something else in your mouth, and shut up, because that is not accurate information.
So here's what is interesting about that tag team rumor is one of two things are going to happen. Either A, because Edge's contract is up soon with WWE. Either A, Edge leaves WWE and signs with AEW. FTR renews with AEW, and they have and this is something that Dax put out there on Twitter, that FTR versus Edge and Christian will be happening sooner than you think. So either A, FTR leaves, they don't renew their contract, goes to WWE. Christian's contract comes up, he goes back to WWE. I don't see that happening with all the hey, no, we're not going to clear you thing. Or with Edge's contract coming up, there's a chance he goes to AEW. Or the third one, they both just do a big giant independent thing once Edge's contract.
I would be okay with the big. Well, the contract thing doesn't matter so much, because certain independent shows are being permitted by WWE now.
Yep.
So,
but anyways,
yeah.
Texas Death Match: Jon Moxley versus Hangman Page.
Hangman.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is where Hangman
Hangman needs it. For the people that don't understand AEW, Hangman needs this win. Moxley does not need to win this.
Well, the thing that hurt Hangman is that he legit got concussed
out of his mind. Yes.
Yeah, and not saying that he was going to win that match, but if Jon Moxley just wins that match and Hangman doesn't get legit knocked out, I don't think you have as much of a drawn out rivalry that you've had with them. But the fact that Hangman was out for months after being concussed with a haymaker, it's something that Hangman definitely needs for his.
Well, there was an argument made on another show, or a statement made on a different show earlier this week. Tom Clark's main event. I listen to Tom because he's a big AEW guy, and that's great because I got to learn it from somewhere. So I mainly, I get it from you guys, and I get it from his show, and I get it from a couple of others. Y'all are my news source. That's how I treat it. Right. So he made the remark about all these different levels of stars that they could throw into the main event picture on AEW. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, well, yeah, as long as you don't bury Adam Page, there's another one you got. But if you continue to have him lose to Mox, he's losing to a guy who lost the title. What good is he?
Right. Hey Ash, put some shorts on, and open the door for Mr. Billy. Sorry, I got some people coming over. Let's run through this. No, you're good. Yep. Running through this, we have the AEW World Tag Team Championship with Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, the Guns, the Acclaimed, and Orange Cassidy and Danhausen.
That's the fourth and final hidden team, was them two?
So it wasn't supposed to be a mystery team.
Okay.
Orange Cassidy and Danhausen won the Tag Team Battle Royal the other night.
Okay. Well, then in that case, the Acclaimed or the Guns retain. I see no need for this to go anywhere else.
No, I agree. I think that too. I think he said they're outside. He said they're outside. Make sure they're not in the back. Sorry. You got the TNT Championship with Samoa Joe and Wardlow, but let's back up real quick. To back up, they're at the front door, son. I don't know if FTR shows up at the end of this or because FTR is not done until April. In the event that FTR hasn't signed or doesn't re-sign, I think that's what the issue is. I think that's why FTR. I think if FTR shows up tonight, I think that's kind of our cue. Hey, they re-signed. If they don't show up, FTR is gone.
Yeah. Well, one other caveat to that. One other caveat to that. FTR could do the favor to the Guns on their way out the door.
Yeah.
That's a logical spot.
No, I mean, and yeah, that could happen, but because the Guns and FTR have been having this beef for several months, all the way back to Ring of Honor and before that, they lost their Ring of Honor title. So, you got TNT Championship with Samoa Joe versus Wardlow. Yeah, I think Wardlow at least gets the TNT title, and hopefully they do it right this time.
Please.
Big build, a huge build last time just for him to kind of fall into oblivion.
Right.
You got the AEW Women's World Championship match between Saraya, formerly known as Paige, Jamie Hayter, and Ruby Soho, formerly known as Ruby Riott.
I'm going with Hayter.
I'm going with Soho.
Really?
I am. Basically, what they're doing here is you got Saraya and Toni Storm, who are the quote unquote outsiders, not like Kevin Nash, but the outsiders, meaning they came from WWE. You got Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker and Rebel, who are AEW originals, right? And then Ruby Soho, who didn't really do much at WWE in regards to championships and stuff. So she's
Nothing.
kind of been like the Switzerland, so to speak,
Okay.
trying to be pulled from both directions. I think she gets the win. I think they may. There's a chance they wanted to put it on her sooner, but she was out for a little while with a broken wrist, I believe, if I remember correctly, or boxer's break.
Well, I will put it to you like this. I would be more inclined to see Hater drop it straight up to Soho than I would to see Hater drop it in a triple threat.
So if Hater, so what you have here is if Hater doesn't get pinned, Hater stays strong.
Yeah. But now you're
So
making the returning legend look weak
that's
by
okay.
Paige taking the loss.
That's okay though, because everybody knows Paige is strong, no matter what. Hater's still a young talent. You know, Paige.
I've liked Hater since Jump Street. I've liked Hater since she debuted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm becoming more and more of a fan of Hater as well.
I've been a fan since Jump Street for her.
But I think I don't know. I think she's super over as a face. What I don't know is if they want to keep her that way or if they want to keep her as a heel. Because Britt Baker works best as a heel.
Yeah.
But Britt Baker is also more of the anti-hero for the women's division.
And
Hater could be very well as well.
I watched my daughter and I watched
trash.
Agreed.
I say that
I'm
all
not
the
a
time.
fan.
Like, they're like, oh man,
she was awesome in NXT. She did not do anything. All right, she was better on NXT. She did nothing of merit on the main roster for WWE. And since being on AEW, I have not been impressed.
I've said it since the first day I saw her. Hey, she's got a good gimmick look. She's trash. That's it. That's my take. Hot take. I think she's beautiful. I think she's got a great gimmick. I don't think she's very good in the ring. I think she's sloppy. But
okay. I'll go with that.
My argument was the same thing you said. My argument was, hey, when you put her in there with in the ring with somebody who can go like Charlotte Flair, she completely brings Charlotte Flair down. She brings Charlotte Flair down more than Charlotte Flair can bring her up, and that's a problem.
That's a bad problem. That is a huge problem. I agree with that. Yeah.
So, here's what I say. What I believe could get match of the night. It's the Elite, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega versus House of Black with Brody Lee, Buddy Murphy. Not Buddy Murphy. What's he go by now? Buddy Matthews. That's it. Thanks, son.
Buddy Matthews, yeah.
And Malachi Black. I think House of Black gets it. I think they get the
titles. I do too. The only way that if they retain Punk and FTR challenge for, maybe.
That's another thing where we've kind of been going back and forth on it. Maybe if FTR is back or comes back or whatever, if they're not done, then maybe they come back. Because the question that we posed was, all right, who's the one team? And I think you chimed in Tuesday night. Who's the one team that could legit dethrone the Elite? And I said House of Black. Death Triangle's already done it before. I think you only have 3 legit trios that could dethrone them. House of Black being number 1, Death Triangle being number 2, and the potential of FTR and CM Punk.
Right. I would still be fine with seeing Kenny Omega versus CM Punk 1-on-1. I would still be okay with that.
I think Kenny Omega would be fine with it. I don't know that Punk would. I hope he is, but I don't know that he would.
I don't, as much respect as I have for what CM Punk has done, I have to word that correctly. I don't believe that he has the gas tank that Kenny Omega does.
No, but I mean that's fine. Kenny can carry a match, man. I mean, the dude can carry the match.
But that pace is blistering. That's a blistering pace.
I agree. So rumors are that Ibushi, no,
Kota?
yeah,
Kota Ibushi?
Kota Ibushi, yeah, Kota Ibushi. Rumors are if he signs with AEW, then you get Kota Ibushi and the Elite versus Konosuke Takeshita, upcoming AEW talent, with the Blackpool Combat Club.
Huh. The other thing is this: couldn't they add time to FTR's contract or whatever? Yeah, FTR's contract because of injuries and stuff.
I don't know that they've been injured much.
Then they just
At
haven't been
FTR,
featured.
yeah. I mean, they took some time off for vacation and stuff, but I mean,
They've been gone for
they were
months.
because they well, here's the thing, they were doing a ton of stuff with Hey Ash, oh, Ellery, where are you? I think my daughter's in the bathroom.
All good.
All right,
Scott Larson asked, "Do you guys like the trios matches?"
I love them. I
Not
love
really.
it. I love them. I love any time that I get to see people fly around the ring, get kicked hard, get hit hard. Yeah, bring me something high energy. I'm good. Bring I can appreciate technical wrestling as they call it, but a lock after a lock after a lock. I'm not a fan of pure Ring of Honor. The Ring of Honor pure championship matches where they're really cool. Conceptually, I'm not a fan of them. I feel like they take too long.
All right. I wouldn't want to see an entire card of that.
Yeah,
but
correct.
I think having one in the thing is fine. All right. Minus the ending, I like the brutality and the beatdown of a Brock Lesnar Bobby Lashley match. You know what I mean? Like that physicality, that level of strength, and that caliber of athlete. I prefer that style of fighting. The brawler, that's the New York style.
Man,
in my book.
I'm fine. Anytime somebody's getting hit hard and taking a crazy sick bump. Prime example, New Japan, beginning of the year, Wrestle Kingdom was Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega. And that match, holy crap. Thank you. Holy crap, it was good. Last but not least, and I've got to run. You got MJF versus Bryan Danielson, AEW World Titles match. I think American Dragon takes it.
I respectfully disagree. I believe that MJF is going to beat Bryan Danielson, because if he doesn't beat Bryan Danielson in his second defense of this title, I believe that MJF loses credibility of being a wrestler. I believe it hurts him too much.
I don't think it hurts him because it's Bryan Danielson.
Okay.
I mean, Bryan Danielson is a legend in his own right.
If that's the case, then Bryan Danielson should have beat Jon Moxley.
Yeah,
or the last time.
It's Jon Moxley.
Well, no, it's no. Not even close. Well, by that right,
he's the only three-time champion in AEW.
Yeah, because he skipped going out of town. He was supposed to leave town.
Well, if you don't have a bunch of people that decide to get in a fight, and the EVPs decide to fight people in the back room.
Well, no, Punk got hurt.
Punk got hurt in his
on
match,
top of the fight. Yeah.
But then you had the fight. So I mean, it was so I'm saying, if people just learn to keep their mouth shut and learn to just have a civilized conversation.
Right.
Ridiculous.
Yep.
Dude,
well, I know you got to go, buddy.
Yeah, we're about to grill and get some stuff ready for AEW Revolution, because we
I cleaned my grill and seasoned my grill, and I'm not cooking on it today.
Yep, I seen this in my grill just a minute earlier when I got home. Sprayed all the pollen off the back porch and all that good stuff. So my
Nah,
son's upset because he's having to stay home. Hey, you can watch it on my book.
I took mine entirely apart, scrubbed it and put it back together, sprayed it down with water, heated it up, sprayed it down again, heated it up. Then sprayed oil all over it, heated it up, and just kept repeating the process.
Yep.
I was out there for a solid 3 hours working on that thing.
Yeah, I wasn't out there that long. I cleaned it though. Used the rock to get all the rust off.
I haven't. Well, see, that's the thing. I hadn't cleaned mine this year. I've only cleaned it twice since I owned it, and I bought it last year. So it needed it badly.
Yeah, mine needed it too. But man, after I cleaned it, I was like, man, this thing looks good.
Yeah.
I should clean my grill more often.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, listen, you guys have a great time at your, get the grill on and, have a couple drinks for me and enjoy your pay-per-view. I'm probably going to watch it in some form or fashion, but I've got some errands to run here shortly after I wrap this show up.
All right, man. Sounds good.
Oh, were you in Charlotte last night? I got to ask. Were you in Charlotte last night?
I was not. However, I do know Flex, which is made up of D'Angelo and Alex Avion, beat Drew Adler and Anthony Henry in a tag team match.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I was hoping somebody was there because, believe it or not, saw somebody at the show I worked yesterday at AWL wearing an Ethan Case T-shirt.
Really?
It was an older Ethan Case T-shirt. Yeah, man. Shit, I can't think of that dude's name. I want to say, I'll message you because I don't want to. I don't want to say some random person's name on air. I thought about it for a second, but I was like,
it was Jimmy Crackhorn, him, that guy.
Yeah, no. That's done. I don't know, man. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, just shoot it to me. I mean,
it's something like this. What?
Oh, you just sent it to me?
Yeah. I know I spelled it wrong as hell.
That guy. He laughed.
Hey, ask him if he can hear me now. If not, I'll turn it up for him.
He walked out of the room.
Of course he did. Pansy.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Real quick announcement. In an hour, there will be a special. Well, we kind of made the announcement, but tickets will officially go on sale for PCW on April 15th. You'll get to see the pretty sweet graphics we got, everything. So yeah, it'll be good. 6:30 tonight.
Man, awesome. I will keep an eye out on. I gotta check my calendar. Where the hell? I didn't even bring my gear in. My gear is still locked in my car from yesterday.
Why'd you do that?
I stayed late. Then I had to drop some people off. Then I got back here. Then I took my daughter to dinner. Her and I went and got dinner together. Then I switched cars, threw all my gear into my car, and parked my truck somewhere else. I had to go help somebody else do something. I'm still wearing, I had suspenders, took them off, took my bow tie off, and I was still wearing my suit. Walked into somebody else's house, fixed their stuff, and then went home. After working the show. Dude, and I couldn't sleep. I've been up since 7 o'clock yesterday.
That's why I don't do anything too fancy. You see my get up, it shows.
I know. Well, no. Hey, well, that's
but that's me.
Fits you.
Yeah,
that fits you. The gimmick makes sense for me that I do. And people were like, some dude hadn't seen me, and all of a sudden he saw me wearing the red shirt, the red dress shirt. I'm like, you never saw me wear the red one? I always wear the red one. He goes, no, you had the purple one here.
What you sent me, was that the last name?
Last name, yeah.
Okay, I think, yeah. I sent the first name to you. I think I know what you're talking about.
Man, maybe. I don't know. I was trying to talk to him, but the guy walked out, and then I had to go back to work. So I was walking around the crowd. We had a great show out there though yesterday, man. It's funny. We've made the trip down to down to Lexington and stuff, but I don't see
Oh, they're
y'all
back.
coming up here to Sparkleburg. We're gonna have to work on that. Oh wait, April 14th. Hey, there we go. April 14th is a Friday night. April 15th is a Saturday. Oh,
Y'all have
y'all may
something
need to
Friday night?
come up here. Huh?
AWO? Is that AWO?
Yeah, they got something on the 14th. So
Okay.
we've made the trip down for Palmetto.
Hold on.
Have y'all made the
'Cause
run up for Spartanburg? Come on, man.
I have not.
Man, you need to come up. Yeah, they got something for the 14th. I'll send you the
My wife.
flyer.
I'll keep my eye out for it. My issue is my wife's schedule because my wife works.
Bring the kids. It's not a bad show.
I don't like taking my kids to stuff.
Really?
That's all. I don't.
That's awful.
Well,
That's
like
awful.
my son's one thing. It's just having him and my 4-year-old daughter.
Dude, well, I mean, it's backwards for me. My 10-year-old daughter is awesome at shows. My 7-year-old son is abysmal at shows.
That's a good graphic.
Yeah, man. There's the other one. And there's a third one. There's a third one that I don't have yet. I'll when I get that one, I'll have to send it to you. Oh, there's actually a lot of good stuff going on.
Tell them to check this. I would make sure to check the spacing on that word. Well, I checked the spacing on the first word of the second group and the bottom word of the first group that you sent me. Check the spacing on that. You might want to point that out. It almost looks like he made 2 words on the. Has this been released yet? I don't want to say nothing if it hasn't been released.
Yeah, these have both been released. I don't see what you're talking about.
So on Enterprises, it almost looks like there's a space between the R and the P in prizes. Enterprises.
It does. It does look a little weird.
And then on Exotic, it looks like there's a space between the E and the X.
That may be by design. That may be graphic design. That may be by design. Huh. I didn't notice that before. Huh.
Well, dude.
Nope, I had not noticed that. Well, I appreciate you hanging out.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you asking me to jump on. It's been fun.
Yep. Hey, don't forget to plug the Tuesday night roundtable thing on Tuesday night, and then you guys try to make it at least for a little while. Come in there and mess with us. Give us your goats. It's all about goats.
That's the next Tuesday, though.
Yeah, the next Tuesday. Yeah, correct. Yep. But be sure you plug it this Tuesday for next Tuesday.
Yep. So roundtable.
Yeah, man.
Roundtable Rumble.
That's right. Roundtable Rumble. That's it.
Cool, man. So
all right, take it easy. Have fun, guys.
I got like 40 people in my kitchen now. So
awesome. Where was my invite? Just playing.
You're always invited, Ron. All you gotta do is just make the drive. It's an open invitation.
Oh yeah.
All right, man.
All right, take it easy, buddy. You have a good one.
Yeah, dude. We'll see you
later. All right, guys. So that was Elliot of the Lowdown Podcast. We're, shooting a breeze about some local indie stuff there at the end. But overall, you heard the card, you heard the layout, you know how it's going to go down for AEW tonight. So if I'm going to be able to watch that show, I'm going to have to go get some errands done. I know we didn't get to SmackDown, which had some awesome points. The back and forth between Roman and Cody was fantastic. Anybody who didn't see it and doesn't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry, but you go watch it. Rampage. I'm trying to remember if anything happened. Oh yeah. Wasn't that the thing with Riho? Riho was on Rampage, right? My daughter looked at her and was like, "Is she big? Like she couldn't understand. I'm like, no, she's just really, really petite. She's a very tiny lady. Um, she goes like, mom tiny or like, smaller. I was like, I don't know. So there's that. I'm not sure. I don't know Riho's layout. I don't know how big she is. But anyway, folks, thank you for being here. It's been real. It's been fun. Hell yeah, it's been real fun. We will catch you next time. Catch us Thursday night for the Thursday Night Indie Spotlight. The following, then you got next Sunday with the Wrestling Wire. Then behind that one, you've got Tuesday night coming out with the Roundtable Rumble, followed by Thursday's Indie Night Spotlight again. Then you got Friday or Sunday yet again for the Wrestling Wire. That's your next 2 weeks laid out. Going to be a fun time. We will see you then. Until then, hit that like, hit that download, hit that subscribe, hit that share button. Do all the clickies on all the social medias. Just click everything. And you're guaranteed to catch all the cool shit that we do because we do cool shit all over the place. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and beyond. So, and coming soon, Tennessee. Going up to Tennessee for a cool convention and wrestling thing, Heroes and Legends. Be sure you go to Heroes and Legends so you can get your tickets for May the 13th in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. When you do that, be sure you use promo code WIRED. If you don't know how to spell it, it's right there, WIRE. So you get 10% off of your entry. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time.